Hey, beautiful people! I have a sneaky window to be able to go live. Zenith has just passed out, so he's having a bit of a sleep, and I've snuck down into the granny flat where I have all of my supplies, and I wanted to create a video to show you what is included in my Maiden initiation kits, which are one of the pledge options if you want to help support my Kickstarter campaign to self-publish the first edition paperback of my book, Maiden, A Mother's Guide to Puberty and Menarche as a Sacred Rite of Passage. So when I was putting together or came up with the idea of having a maiden initiation kit, I wanted to include the book and then the practical resources that a mother could have on hand. So it took out the guesswork or the shopping that you have to do, which is something that when I put together like my maiden menstrual basket for a gift for Aurora and all the ceremonial stuff, I built it up over time. So, excuse me, I wanted to have it available so it was like a one-stop shop. It was all there. It's going to take the stress and the worry and the pressure about not having things prepared in time. So this way that you'll have the book, which has all the practical wisdom and insight with respects to Menarche as a sacred rite of passage, how to create your own ceremony that is appropriate for your daughter. So it's not just, all the bells and whistles. You get to scale it back and really cater towards their personality and the things that they're interested in. And that's one thing that I really like to create with the work that I do as a ceremonialist, is to like custom make everything. So with respects to the Maiden kit, what I put together was things that are relative in the book so that you can use the wisdom there, and then you've actually got these tools here that are available, and it's like a baseline of what you would need for the practical side for a menstrual basket to make sure that your daughter is prepared for her menses, her menarche, her first bleed, or even if you want to recreate these ceremonies. And then excuse me, and then there is the things that you will need for the actual sacred rite of passage ceremony, or the little ritual. So I'm going to flip the camera around here. The lighting's not very good in this room, but I want to show you what I've put together because I'm really excited, and this kind of makes my heart sing, and just seeing it all is so beautiful. The only thing that I am missing, of course, is the book. And also I've bulk ordered some really beautiful red journals, and they should be arriving within the next week or two. So that's the only thing that's missing out of here. And I'm going to flip the camera around so you can see what I've created. Okay, hang on a second. All right, so I want to show you these beautiful herb bundles. They're all organic, locally sourced. So from Femke, from Venus V-Seam. So they're grown out in Koa on her property. And I asked her to create some beautiful little smoking bundles, which include mugwort and a few other sacred herbs and flowers as well, just to make them pretty. So I wanted to bypass the whole white sage because a lot of it is not sustainable, and there's, a lot of cultural appropriation and stuff with that. So this way we can honor the smoke cleansing, but use things that are a little bit more readily available and also have like witchy properties to it. There is a cycle mapping chart which is laminated. I created this. You will also get a link for a free download to this when you purchase the book as well. I wanted to laminate this so that you could actually gift this to your daughter. She can stick it on her wall, or have in her drawer or anywhere that's available to her, and use whiteboard markers so that she can reuse this. And then, if she wanted to take a photograph and to then log that, rather than having all these bulk pieces of paper or things that she may forget to use. That's one thing with a teenager I've found is quite useful, is to think about really practical solutions, particularly if they're out and about a lot. Then we got over here, which is these beautiful, amazing Mint Sense cloth pads. So I have partnered with Judith to be able to provide this. So this is a teen starter pack, and it's what I actually purchased for my daughter. So it includes 7 of the menstrual pads. So these are the panty liners. Then you've got the regular ones here. Look how beautiful they are. And that belongs there. And then you've got the nighttime pad as well. So what do we got? We've got 2 liners, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the regular day wear, and then one of the overnight pads. And I also asked her to create some of these wet purses because, hang on a second, my daughter really liked these. So this is fantastic for them to be able to store their pads in after they've used them or they've changed them at school, and they're not going to have to worry about smells or anything like that, or they can just carry them in there just as a discreet way to have them in their bag. I find that, yeah, it's just really helpful to create these resources that they can have on hand so that they're using it. It's fully sustainable, you know, washable pads that these will last for a long time. The beautiful labeling there. So shout out to Men's Sense cloth pads. My daughter loves hers. I got a darker color, but Judith has said that she will be creating the cloth pads in the most popular prints available. So there's that. Oh, and they come with these straps. I couldn't figure out what this was until I saw Judith's Instagram post. So this is how you dry them. It's a drying clip. Okay, then it moves on. You will also have one roller bottle of the Clary Calm. It's a beautiful monthly blend for women. It's great for womb support. My daughter loves it when she's coming into her bleed. It just helps to give her that hormonal support. Beautiful little rose quartz heart pendant and an Ankh pendant. That's all in the book, what the importance of them. I've also sourced some silk rose petals, so you'll get a bundle of them to be able to scatter in your ceremonial space. Some red twine as part of ceremonial, which is all outlined in the book. These beautiful flower crowns. So these are made out of material and they undo at the back, so they're fully adjustable. Now, I searched for months to be able to find really beautiful flower crowns and ones that didn't look plasticky or too tacky, and these were the best ones that I found. So that's a big box of them there, and I'm going to be using these for another maiden ceremony for women that have had a traumatic experience with their first menses to heal and reclaim part of that. So they're fully adjustable, which is great. And why I purchased these ones is because the way that they're woven. So if you wanted to include fresh blooms, like the cover of the book with Aurora on it was a fresh flower crown bouquet, because we have access to beautiful flower farm up here, Wild Sky Farm with Maddie. But if you wanted to poke your fresh blooms in there, you could. It just gave you a bit more of an expansive option. But I also liked the beautiful floral colors that wasn't too bold, but it just really speaks to the softness and the innocence of maidenhood. And yeah, I don't know, I just found that they were really pretty and beautiful. So I'm going to pop that one over there. And there's also, you'll get your beeswax, and I also purchased some actual wicks, so you don't have to worry about creating your wicks. So that's all outlined in the book, what you're going to be using with that. When I send it, I'm actually thinking of cutting them in half, because if you were to roll that into a candle, it would actually be quite thick. And I don't think that that's particularly necessary. So if I cut them in half and then have the two pieces sent, it gives you the option to create a smaller candle, or you can just, you know, join the two just by pressing down firmly on the beeswax. And then over here, look at these. These beautiful, beautiful polished abalone shells. So they will go with the smoking bundles there. But look at this. How amazing is that? So special. So these are Australian, and I'm pretty sure that they're harvested in Western Australia and then cleansed and polished, but just so beautiful and magical. And as I said, the only thing that is missing is, I'll flip this camera around. The only thing that is missing is the red journals. I haven't received them yet. So as soon as I do, I'll post a photograph with the whole kit so that you can see. The pads on their own are like $120, I think, for the kit. And I can't remember how much the wet purse is. So I've priced it as something that is easy and efficient and affordable as well. I didn't want to go too full on with adding heaps of all other kinds of trinkets and stuff that may or may not be used. Oh, and I just want to show you this. I flip this around too. I just purchased some really pretty paper to wrap it in, which you'll be able to reuse as well. You could turn it into cards or This is all sustainably sourced, and I'm in the process of sourcing the compostable packaging as well, because I find that that's really important to be able to deliver things in such a way that is sustainable and as locally sourced and organic, and, you know, supporting other businesses as possible. And that's what I have done here. So if you're interested in that, as I mentioned, it comes with all of this and a copy of the first edition Maiden book, and also the red journals which are coming. And if you click the link in the heading of this live stream, it will take you to the Kickstarter campaign. I've got until the 11th of May to become fully funded. Kickstarter is all or nothing. So if I don't reach my target, the funds are not released. If you are making a pledge, you will not be charged on your credit card until the campaign is successful and it reaches that end date. So please, if you want to grab one of these Maiden kits, please do. It's one of the pledge options. I know for some people a little bit of a barrier is that you have to like create an account through Kickstarter, like log in and all that sort of stuff, but it's totally worthwhile, not only for my project, but there are so many other amazing creative people in the world putting their art out there and seeking support to be able to bypass the big industrial side of doing things. And I really find that it's a beautiful way to crowdsource and crowdfund creative projects into existence. So regardless of that, the book in itself will be available online for international distribution probably around June, I'd imagine, and I'll let you know when all of that is available. But it's super exciting and happy days. And yeah, click the link below, pledge your support. Even if you're not interested in grabbing a Maiden kit, or you're not interested in grabbing a book, but you want to support me and my work, please do. A welcome, and I'm open to receiving any and all support in any way, shape or form, even if it's just sharing the link within your network. Let other mothers know, mothers that have daughters. The book is specifically written from my voice, from mother to mother. Having said that, any caretaker that is looking after a young girl that's transitioning into womanhood will gain value from the book. You'd simply just, you know, omit certain things that I'm speaking directly from a mother's perspective and just fill in the gaps there. It's kind of common sense. But anyway, that's about it for today. I hope you're all having a beautiful weekend. Sending you so much love and many blessings. If you have any questions, my inbox is open. Mwah! See ya.